Hey yo! I'm Elena and I'm going to show you this documentary named Delving into an anime Keijo told by a girl. I have been thinking a long time ago about doing this. My opinion is unpopular and may come off as weird to people in the end, but I'll use this documentary to explain my fascination with this anime and see more than the surface. Now, if you don't know much about anime, about the genre, I will explain to you. What is Keijo? What genre is it, and why is categorized as such? Keijo is an anime is Japanese animation and is composed of many genres, like shoujo for female audience, shonen for male audience, and a lot of more. But what genre is the anime I'm going to talk, and why is categorized as such? Keijo means competitive woman, and is an ecchi and sports anime. Now I will talk about the plot. It focuses on a fictional women's sport known as Keijo, in which participants fight each other on floating platforms using only their wrists and buttocks. The participant who knocks her opponent off the platform is the winner of the match. But what is ecchi? Ecchi genre is known for having suggestive and lewd scenes and is targeted for a male audience, but it doesn't show any explicit. But Keijo isn't only a lewd anime, it's also so funny because it's so unreal when you're watching it. And that's what I'm going to talk about. It's not only lewd scenes, it has a story with values that will make you empathize and feel different emotions. Next, popular opinion, most of men. There are also a lot of ecchi anime and people see beyond the sexual. They love them as waifus, from the word wife, for their story and example of development, Sora no Mono. On the other hand, when I saw this anime, I didn't see any comment that was not just how busty is this girl? I love that it's prop, it's boobs versus asses. It's just another one, bored. I was thinking, could I be the wrong one? How can no one see more than me? Isn't it so evident? But I realize it has different values than just a simple ecchi anime, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Also, when I'll be talking about values, I will talk about the anime and some characters, and when I finish talking them, I will end my conclusion about the value by saying how good is the value they show us, and to implement in the daily life. Next, values. Patience. The protagonist named Kaminase Nozomi wants to reach the dream of becoming rich and popular in Keijo. Also, she's prepared because she's gymnastic and athletic and knows how to make different pirouettes with complexity. When she turned 18, she could apply to a school with Keijo for beginners, and if they are good, then they go to elite class, cause only the elite class can compete. She wants to be the best, and learns when loses cause she's not perfect, as she's always improving in the anime. Also so, she wants more training, adding ankle weights to run faster, loves the challenge with her classmates, and even if it's exhausting, she tries her best. Eventually, she gets to elite class, and when teachers want to show them how professionals look like, they show the professional as rivals to beat. Of course, the elite class cannot win with the professional, because they look mature and with much more experience behind. And what do you learn from her behavior? If you like to do something in the future, fight for it. And if you reach the point you are good at and demonstrate it, don't get stuck in being good but improve yourself, because improvement is constant. Also, if you have passion, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, because you learn from your mistakes, and if you win, you will feel so happy with your effort. Next value, never give up. Now I will show you how the character feels the gain and in-game, and not only with their opponents. Now Kaminasi knows how to make a new movement that involves a lot of complexity, but if it's not well controlled can be harmful to the hip because it ends hurting it. It is called vacuum butt cannon. Also, the teacher is so astonished that she can do it. The teacher told her if she did that trick, she could be a prize queen, her dream, but prohibited her to do it again for her safety. Nozomi was so sad but insists that she can manage to not harm herself. The teacher shows them GTM, fitting to accustom the hips to movement, also makes Nozomi unable to work correctly because it's too tight to the body. She can handle it well when she wants to run, attack, and even almost drown in ranging lessons. She was going to give up, but when she was receiving a massage from her friend, she told her, hey, your back feels like a rock, you need to be more relaxed so your muscles don't feel tight. So when she realized she was pushing herself too much, she released her arms, legs, head, and his whole body to finally run with the shot, feeling free. But this wasn't the only moment she almost gave up. When she was told that her butt was too big so she was slow and the professional started teaching her a new move, butt flash, so she could be faster and use a lot of power doing it. It consists of pulling out some turnips with a rope around the waist. She starts practicing, but can only pull out the lift. Nozomi tries all day, even if it rains, but she can do it. It's especially desperate when she saw his classmate eating the turnips for dinner because she had not been able to take them out properly. The next day she was still trying, but only pulled up the lids. While she was practicing, another student approached her and just for fun wanted to try the move she was trying to do. Guess what? She took a turnip in one piece at the first try. Nozomi wanted to know how she did it. I have to say that the other student is the best student for Keijo, the number one in the lead class. The girl didn't say anything, but she noticed a clue, and now Nozomi has an idea how to do it. And when at least after 2 whole days of practicing, it generates a feeling of adrenaline, and also visually, when it succeeds, it's beautiful. Also, she do it again and again, making a way of turnips. And what do you learn from her behavior? In this case, they show perfectly that if you're having trouble during a practice, don't give up because sooner or later you're going to get it. And when you finally succeed and see the result, you will see that it was worth it from the beginning. Next value, friendship. I want to talk about the other characters, like Maya Sakashiro. Nozomi is a social person, loves to talk and express herself and helps the girls even if they are friends or the opponents. She demonstrates his helpful behavior with Maya Kaya, a girl who appears in the episode 8, and showing she was a very difficult opponent. Both felt a connection and curiosity for each other when they met, so when they finally saw each other again at the big competition, it was so special. When they are competing, Nozomi noticed how Maya does her fantastic tricks and countered using her own skills. They started fighting between two beasts. There came a moment in which Maya became Kaya. They saw this with a change of her. Kaya, contrary to Maya, is aggressive, has much more strength and endurance. She's the best of her team, but she doesn't usually appear because she's very ruthless with her opponents who she tortures to make Maya feel bad. When another girl on their team noticed that Kaya was in the scene, wanted to talk with her because she was polite to get out. Nozomi asked what happened to Maya, who is Kaya, and many questions that the other girl answered. The other girl talks. Maya has a split personality because as a child she was treated very badly and never found a home because she could break or explode things with any part of her body. That's why people are afraid of her. But she met his coach and his future mom. The coach, Ayako, realized she was potential in the Keijo, so she starts teaching her and involve her in a team. When the girl finished talking, Kaya was at her side, and with her power she threw away her classmate because she was so noisy. Now, Nozomi and her team was so afraid because she was invincible. She was slowly convincing Maya to come out instead of Kaya because it was a fight between both of them, a fair fight, and to honor their teachers. And so it happened. Maya came back on the stage stronger than before. When you're watching the anime, you know that the protagonist, Nozomi, has to win. But even if you know that, you enjoy the fight because each team starts shouting and cheering, both fight to win and try their best. This scene is so epic. When the matches are over, both teams meet in a large room. Even if their opponents were aggressive in the fight, our Nozomi team respects them and begins to form friendship, just like their teachers. Next value, relationship with family, good and bad. This time I will talk about Miyata, because before I talk about Kaya, so I don't wanna repeat myself. Miyata used to practice judo and was apparently very good at it. Her father taught her from an early age, but since she was a little girl, she was interested in Keijo. She tries to convince her father to allow her to enter the Keijo school, but her father was very upset because he didn't want his daughter to lose her roots in judo and waste her talent. In every chapter, Miyata is in grieving because she wants her father to be with her by her side. In the last, Miyata no longer expects her parents to show up, but she doesn't know that her mother has convinced her father to go so they can cheer her. When Miyata-san states in the first battle her father watched her, even though she does not see him because there is a lot of audience, the fight continues, and Miyata is tired and she cannot win because her enemy can use synesthesia to know where she exerts force to attack. Also, her opponent keeps criticizing her for giving up to judo, and those comments make Miyata angry until she realizes that her opponent may have more experience in Keijo, but she knows judo, so Miyata thinks about what she learned from judo and does a move that her father taught her when she was little, managing to destabilize her opponent and causing her to fall. The movement was the same, but coupled with the rules of the Keijo. She saw that he had never abandoned it, and it was a part of his life, what his opponent called difference in level. Miyata saw that there was a difference in level because Miyata has knowledge that his opponent doesn't know. When she performed the movement, her father was very proud of her. He realized that Keijo is very important to her daughter, and even if she doesn't practice judo anymore, it's a part of her that she will not forget. He applauds her and appreciates that what she has done, shouting her name, making Miyata realize that he is there to bring a smile to her face. And what do you learn from her behavior? It's quite common for your parents to disagree with your plans or tastes. Her father saw the sport as something that only sexualized women did not require skill and was just for pure entertainment. Basically, most opinions agreed. It's hard to show your parents that you want your future to depend on you, that you are not going to try any less hard, and that what you have learned before has helped you. Sometimes parents are not flexible and are very stubborn, but there comes a point where words alone are not enough to convince them, but showing them with action and feelings you can communicate a lot more. No more sad, sentimental topics. This value is about how the anime shows the characters and never makes fun of any of them or their bodies. You don't need to watch anime to just Google ecchi anime girls, and you will quite girls with long hair, big boobs and ass. Plus, they are skinny. Therefore, girls with brown skin but very sexualized girls may appear. Of course, there are exceptions, but this is the popular thing to see when searching in this genre of anime, ecchi. And already there are no more different body types. That's why this anime surprised me when I watched it, because there was a lot of variety. Because even if there were no primary characters, they give them strength, courage, and they intimidate you. Let's name them. Girls with very short hair, usually you see girls with hair above the neck. I show you different pictures, or even if you Google girls with very short hair anime, that's why I was surprised to see when the red-haired nun was facing Yoshida, a muscular brunette. She had short curly hair that is pulled back with a headband. She's muscular, with a loose femininity, and also shows in the same confrontation a girl with masculine features in the style of JoJo. She also used his body to perform good defensive and attacking movement. It is called Bat of Yara. She is in the lead class because she is so strong. Also shown are some girls with short hair apart from the two of them. Next, Nagisa Ujire, teacher, is a former champion Keijo player. During her youth, she was able to attain the rank of prize queen and was nicknamed as the Siren. She normally acts calm and thoughtful middle-aged woman. She tends to make jokes about her fat figure, but she will get angry if someone makes fun of her. In the anime, it's strongly implied that Ujibe did use the vacuum bat cannon at least once during her career and injured herself because of it. She's able to outmatch student-level fighters easily. Despite her wildest days, she has incredible reflexes as she was when she was younger and slimmer. Conclusion. All these characters demonstrate is that they saw all the advantages with their bodies. Yoshida with his muscular strength in attack and defense, Usagi with her speed and small chest, Oshima with his pigtail hairstyle but muscular body counters, Yokosugi an obese woman who makes giant attacks, and a lot more. I recommend you watch the anime either for the plot, animation, or you can watch it for all the facts that I just told you. I have not talked about all the characters that are interesting, different designs, and do not miss the crazy names of its movement. Keijo is an anime that takes its plot seriously. which does not represent the ecchi genre to give fan service to the aliens, but is part of its work to achieve an end. You enjoy this anime as much of the most genre of sports. It's very entertaining and very unique from the ecchi anime out there. I hope you like it. See you next time.
素敵な戦い方ができるようになるわけです。わかりましたか、神梨さん。はい。